Welcome back to Furry Trash, the podcast for furries by furries. I'm Rose Get in the Box, and welcome to another episode. This week, I am joined by Xephas, GracePaws. Say hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Xephas. Tell people who you are and what you do.
My name is Xephas GracePaws, and I make furry YouTube videos, and I also stream.
And you mainly do like YouTube and Twitch and stuff, and you do a little bit of like VR experience stuff, like gameplays. And the video I would know you from is the furry iceberg situation, like breaking down all the layers of being a furry, which was really impressive, by the way. There was some stuff in there that I was like, that's still a thing, like rainforest. I forgot rainforest existed for a hot minute. So thank you for re-emerging my memory of the convention.
Yeah, I mean, for better or for worse, you're welcome. So
how did you get into the furry fandom?
Well, that's an interesting question I've not actually thought of for a while. So I think we're going back to probably talking like 2010, 11, 12, around there. I can't remember. My memory of that is a bit hazy, but it was around that time I got into the game Furcadia, and I started playing it because I've always been a bit of an MMO fan. I don't know why. I just really like MMO games, and most of the social ones, not so much the sort of hack and slash, but as social MMOs go, there was Furcadia. So downloaded it, gave it a go, and kind of got into it that way. So I started off with, hey, this is cool. There are animal characters. And gradually sort of, as I sort of met new groups and became sort of part of communities on there, it kind of went from, hey, these are cool animal avatars to, oh, this is cool. There are more animal drawings. Oh, I'm a furry now.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm a furry mom. Also, what does MMO stand for in gaming terms?
Massively multiplayer online.
That is a big word for such a small acronym.
Well, the whole acronym is MMORPG, so RPG role-playing game. So it's massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
That
most people
you've lost me completely. Because my experience of gaming is like Pokemon Go and Animal Crossing, and that's kind of it. Like I've played, video games when I was younger and stuff, but like now I just don't have the time for it. And I'm just like, when I hear of all these new games coming up online and like other stuff, like people playing games on Twitch and things, I'm like, that is a really cool game, but I couldn't give myself the time to play it. So I always kind of enjoy watch people do like let's plays and like playthroughs and stuff, because it gets me to experience the game without me having to experience it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you mentioned there that you do like videos and stuff. You do have videos on Fridays and you stream on Wednesdays and Saturdays. How do you kind of manage your time to kind of go around the schedule that way you've got a video every time that you have one organized?
It's a lot about time management. I mean, I'm trying to not so much get away from doing videos every week, but I feel like now trying to take more time to improve the quality of videos. So maybe once every few weeks as opposed to once every week. But other than that, it's just about kind of managing my time. And like yourself, I kind of don't play many games anymore just because I don't have the time. I have a full-time job and I have far too many hobbies, this being one of them. So it's a lot of juggling, but yeah, it's just about using the free time I have effectively.
So on my screen and our viewers on YouTube screen, there is, I want to call it a face rig, but do feel free to change the terminology. But I'm a little bit just like looking at the character on my screen. I love the purple, by the way, because ink is purple, and I love seeing personas also purple because I just feel like this is so cute. How did you create your persona?
Well, it started off in Furcadia where you can like pick all the colors and stuff. So I just kind of, originally Xephas had pink hair, which was horribly garish. And then it kind of went from there onto, I think when I did a redesign in about 20, I want to say 17 or 18, around there. And at the time I had purple hair in real life. So that kind of went into Xephas, the character. And I sort of designed it a bit in Facadia by adding sort of the colors together, and then wrote down a brief description and sent it off to an artist to get like an avatar done, which was the original Xephas avatar that I used to use on all my videos before this new one took over. And I just sort of sent over a brief description, and this is essentially what came back. And I was happy enough with it that it kind of became Xephas.
That is super cute. And like I said, I love the fact that it's purple because ink is purple. And I love seeing personas that are purple because I'm like, that is like my little heart just goes, yes. So on my screen and on viewer screens, what would you refer to from this angle? There you go. Because I remember when I'm editing the show, the screen flips. So for over here, no, over there we go. What would you call, is it an avatar, a face rig, just a picture persona? How would you describe it?
Well, I guess it's kind of like a face rig, but I've done it myself because I can't afford face rig and like can't afford to get someone to set it all up. So it's like it's just a thing I've done in OBS, the recording software. Essentially, it's just a swap between two images, but it kind of works really well. I quite like it. It's pretty cool. It tracks quite nicely.
It does. That's where like this is why I'm kind of like, I'm trying my best not to talk to it, because this is an issue I had when I was talking with Casey Explosions, was that I kept talking to the avatar and I was like, oh, there's actually someone that way, but also they're right there, but they're there. You can see why I ask people to have the camera on for a couple minutes before we start recording, so that way then I can mentally like keep a track of their face and I know like what way they look. Hopefully you haven't moved, like, because in my mind you haven't moved, just like stood right there. And like my luck now, you could be like over here, but I'm still mentally talking to the one spot where I know your face is. So online you use your avatar, your face, right? Why don't you use your face?
I think that kind of comes down to kind of, I guess, the worry of being found out by people I know who aren't furries. Like I said in the like pre-show interview, if you want to call it that, I work in IT, and as a result, I work with people who are kind of always online and they know about furries and they're not massively down with the concept because they're both kind of edgy 4chaners. So it's a bit kind of awkward. On one hand, it's like, yeah, I use the internet lots. And on the other hand, it's like, I know about that, but that furry thing, yeah, that's certainly a thing, isn't it? That exists. It's just, yeah, it's really kind of awkward trying to balance the two. And I'd rather not throw my face out there, because if they see that, or somebody I knew saw that, that would just be like, that'd be grounds for, constant, I don't want to say bullying, but essentially bullying.
To quote Father Ted, down with the sort of thing. I have been watching a lot of Father Ted recently, and it's getting to the point now where I've started to put in like some of the colloquial jokes in everyday life, and people look at me and they're like, careful now. So
I love that show, despite the creator.
So when did you start making content on YouTube and Twitch? Like, how did you kind of decide, like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and here we are?
It must have been around 2018, so towards the end of 2018. I was in my final year of university, and it was probably just something to procrastinate studying, which, it's always fun to find. I did so many things to procrastinate studying, including trying to learn Chinese, which didn't go very well. But no, I sort of got back into sort of furry stuff. I'd sort of taken a break for about a year or so, and I was just getting back into it, getting sort of into the YouTube side of things, watching other people's content. And I think it was mostly at the time Beta Eta Delota's videos that kind of really got me into it, like his sort of informative stuff he used to do. And yeah, it really got me sort of into the idea. And I was like, well, I could do this. So I gave it a go. I had a few channels before that point. Like I'd done YouTube stuff in the past, never for very long. I've always been really bad at sticking to stuff. Like, I don't know, I become obsessed with the idea of something for a few weeks and then just move on to something else. And YouTube had been the same up to that point. So still I was like, I'll do a couple videos, we'll see how it goes. And it's been like almost 3 years. So it probably went pretty well.
It's been a long week. It's been a very long week. So with your Twitch content, you said to me off air that you do a lot of it live. How do you manage the live audience? Because that's something I really worry with, is doing live stuff. So how do you manage that?
I guess I'm kind of lucky in that I've got sort of moderators who help, but it can sometimes be a lot. I mean, you'll get people who come in and sort of expect your attention, which for the most part is fine the majority of the time, because I guess I don't get enough viewers for that to be an issue. I'll read every comment, but I think when people come in and they demand attention, that's when it gets a bit kind of like, ultimately, I guess it's my choice if I read a comment or not. And I will read comments. I just don't want the whole thing to be about one particular person, if that makes any sense. So I think there's an element of that. And then obviously you get the trolls. I've got trolls before. And not often, luckily, but you get trolls. They'll come in and they'll be like, oh, furries, her. And it's frustrating, but you just block them and they go away. Apart from there was one time where they kept either making new accounts or getting access to new accounts and just coming back and back and back and back for like half an hour. And then eventually got them all banned and they kind of just scurried off, I guess.
Do people do that? Do they deliberately make Twitch accounts to just mess with furries?
Yeah, they must do. Honestly, like this one, I don't know if it's one person or it's a group of people, but I must have ended up banning about at least 20 odd accounts. Like, so they just kept coming back and oh, look, a new viewer. Oh no, you're gonna say hello and then you're gonna start just abusing me for being a furry. Cool, that's awesome.
That is just what we want to see in this lovely server. Like, you'd have to excuse my no knowledge of Twitch. I've only done like a couple of handful of things of Twitch. Like I did the UK PonyCon stream through Twitch. I did an interview once for So Concept Show, and that was streamed off Twitch. And it was the first time I'd been on Twitch for like more than 10 minutes. And I was just like, what is this? And then I did Confuzzled, and I was just thrown into the deep end. Because if you were at that stream, and it was insane. Like, I'm still mentally not over it. Like, it still hasn't set in with me that there was that many people there. It's insane. It's crazy. And it kind of all hit me at once. Like, I was really thankful for all the Irishers that were there, who were there to support me, and people who didn't know me to find me and stuff. I was like, oh, that's so cool. But at the same time, though, I was like, oh my gosh, that is a lot of people. I'm watching Xephas' mouth just move back and forth. I'm like, I'm just amazed by this. This is so cool.
Yeah, it's a bit overly sensitive at times, so it can pick up like background noises quite bad. I think there's a way of tuning it a bit better, but I spent about half an hour tuning it and thought, yep, that'll do, and then just went with it.
Like, yeah, that'll be grand. To be fine. To be grand. So, Xephas, where can people find you online?
I'm available on YouTube. That's youtube.com/C/XZ53. No, I'm joking. I don't remember the long string. All being well, though I know that YouTube sometimes manage to mess that up, but that should work. Otherwise, search Xephas GracePaws. I'm available on Twitter at Xephas GracePaws. I'm available on many other places, Twitch, Xephas _GracePaws. Sometimes I'm on Reddit as well, Xephas GracePaws. Yeah, I'm available on all those places. Go and follow me, but don't follow me in real life. Haha.
But thank you for coming on the show. People won't get to hear and see this, but I went on a rant for 40 minutes and I'm so sorry. But it's been a lot of fun to like chat with you, and it's so much cool to like watch the avatar move, and I'm just like, this is really fun. But I will have all those hand-extended links below in the description, as well as the show's links. And if you like what you see, consider supporting us on Ko-fi. I'm trying to like a bit of a jiggle. If you're watching on YouTube, please do feel to like and subscribe to enjoy the vibes. These videos on screen if you wanted to watch those as well. And yeah, so thank you for tuning in. And Xephas, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show.